Hey there, welcome back to our Unbounce series. So in this video, we are going to talk about Google Ads conversion tracking for phone calls specifically. So I did a video before on tracking form submissions, right? So you got a form submission conversion, which is very typical. And then you also have these phone calls, right? So how in the world would you track a phone call on an Unbounce landing page? Well, it turns out that Google Ads actually has the ability to track phone calls. You could also use a third-party service, by the way, like CallRail or Call Tracking Metrics. But in this case, we're just going to focus on what's built into Google. Why not, right? So you can actually configure these conversions to be a certain amount of seconds. So if a quality phone call has to last like 60 seconds, you can do that as well. So we are going to create the conversion in Google Ads for calls, and then we're going to implement that conversion action through the Google Tag Manager. So if you're not familiar with how to get the Tag Manager set up, be sure to check out another video I did on that as well. So just go into the Brand Rocket channel and look for Unbounce and Google Tag Manager. So because I do cover it there. So the things that you will need, obviously, an Unbounce account, Google Tag Manager, and Google Ads. So that's what we're going to use. And by the way, if you haven't signed up for Unbounce yet, I have a terrific offer here. You can actually sign up for month by month and get 20% off, actually 20% off your first 3 months or 35% off your first full year. Just use the link that I provide here on this page. And this page address is brandrocket.net/unbounce. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to go right into my Brand Rocket test account, my Google Ads account, and we're going to set up that conversion action first. Okay, so let's head on over there. Again, this is under Tools and Settings once you're in Google Ads. So this is under Conversions, and we're going to go through it step by step. New conversion action. Okay, and this is going to be a phone call conversion. And you can see when you click on that, you have 3 different options. Calls from ads. So these would be your call extensions on your ad units. That's not what we're talking about. Calls to a phone number on your website. That's what we're talking about. And then you also have another option, clicks to a number on your mobile site. But we are just talking about a phone number on your website. So let's continue with that. Okay. Conversion name. You could name whatever you want. I'm going to say calls from Unbounce landing page. All right. So value, if you want to assign the value to your phone call, if you know what a what the value of what a customer is, over like lifetime customer value, you can back into this number. You can put whatever you want. I'm going to say a phone call is worth $50, just for just a random number here. Count one or every. So do you want to count it once or every single time? Probably you want to count it once. Okay. Enter a phone number. They should reach you when they call from your website. So I'm just going to do a fake phone number here. 602-555-5555. Okay. And then the display, in fact, let me just format that correctly just to make sure. And then it asks for a display phone number as well. So let's say you could have this, a number that's forwarding, a number that's actually displaying. In this case, I'm going to say they're exactly the same. Okay. So what will happen, by the way, is that it's a pattern match, right? So whatever number that you enter here, Google is going to look for that number. Be very specific with the way that you write this out, formatting wise. So if if you write it like this, make sure you have it this way on the website as well. Don't just put dashes when the format is with parentheses, for example. Okay, so otherwise Google will not be able to pattern match and do the swap out. So what happens is that when the landing page loads, Google has thousands and hundreds of thousands of numbers, and it will match your number with the same area code, but it'll be a Google tracking number, and it swaps out in a millisecond, where you can barely, you can't even see it, right? So just make sure your formatting is consistent. Okay, so I'm going to be so for the phone number, display phone number, I'm going to once again say 602 555-5555. Okay, call length. So how long does somebody have to be on the phone for it to count as a conversion? You can put in whatever you want. I'm just going to keep it at 60 seconds. Click through conversion window, 30 days. You can expand that out if you need to. So let's just say 60 days. And data driven is what we want. Okay, so let's create and continue. All right. So here we're presented with an option to install the tag yourself. You could do that, but that's not what this video is all about. If you have a developer, you can email the tag, but we are going to do this through the Google Tag Manager. And so let's select the Google Tag Manager. And we got a conversion ID and a conversion label. Okay, so let's hop over into the Google Tag Manager to plug this in. All right, so we are in the in this account that I have that has a bunch of tags. So we ignore the tags here. We're going to create a brand new one. So brand new. We obviously click on the new button. We're going to say Google tracking calls from Unbounce page. Okay, and then tag configuration. We will scroll. It's actually kind of hidden down here. Google Ads calls from website conversion. Okay, displayed phone number to replace. Let's bounce back over into Google Ads. Well, that was on the other page, but I know what we typed in, right? So it's like 602. Uh, 555. All right. Conversion ID, got to make sure this is identical. So we copy that, come back into the Google Tag Manager, conversion ID, conversion label, copy that, come back over to Tag Manager, conversion label. On this one, remember when we did the other one in the other video, if you watched that, it was for the form submission. So we only fired it on the thank you page. On this one, we wanted to fire on every single page, okay? So that should work. Remember, we have 602 in parentheses, and there's a space, 555-5555 as just a testing number. All right, so I'm going to save that. I'm actually, so on the other conversion action, we went into preview mode. In this particular case, because it's a phone number, it's different. It's going, remember, this conversion or this tag is going to fire on every single page, but it doesn't mean it's going to actually do the swap out on every page, right? It only does the number swap out to a tracking number if somebody comes from a Google ad. And that's really important to differentiate, okay? When somebody clicks on an ad, there's something called a Google Click ID or GCLID that is passed through the URL. And when that's passed to this particular page, the Unbounce landing page, that's when Google will do the swap out of the phone number. All right, so we don't preview this one through the preview tool, but there is another way to test whether or not that swap out is actually working, and we'll get into that here shortly. I'm going to submit this code. I'm just going to submit it. I'm just going to publish it with no notes on this one just for the sake of time, and this gets pushed it gets pushed not only obviously to the Brand Rocket site, but it's getting pushed to the landing page that was set up earlier. And when I mentioned that's this particular page, I did a whole nother video on how we created this one. Okay, so this was using a template that we found online based off of the StoryBrand framework, and we basically emulated that template, which was, I think they were selling it for $300, and we just created one in Unbounce for less than an hour. So if you haven't seen that video, it's actually a pretty interesting video. Be sure to check that out. So this is the template we're going to use. You can see there's a phone number here, but it's the wrong phone number because this is just a fictitious phone number as well. But we're going to have to change the formatting. You see the formatting's not the same. So let's get into that. I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to change the formatting on this to 602. It's going to be like 602. Space 555 5555, right? Just like that. I'm going to save it, and I'm going to republish. Okay. So that's going to push that out. Now remember, in a previous video, when we set up the Google Tag Manager, we added the Google Tag Manager code to this particular page. page. We actually added it to all of Unbounce. So that's how this works behind the scenes. Okay, so we created this conversion tracking code for a Google call conversion, and that automatically fires through Google Tag Manager and Unbounce, because in Unbounce we had configured this to fire off of the GTM. Okay, so just as a really quick refresher, because that's not what this video is about, but in Scripts Manager, we have the Google Tag Manager running in here. Okay, so again, I did another video on that. So if you're interested in that, be sure to check out that video. So we have published a tag, we changed the phone number, we changed the website. Let's do a refresh to see if we have the phone number changed here as well. And we do. Great. And now we can test to see if this Google number will swap out like it's supposed to. Okay, and in order to test this is a little known trick actually, but you're going to append something to the end of the landing page. So you can see the phone number has been updated to 602-555-5555, right? That's a fictitious number, but we're going to do this. So I'm going to load in lp.brandrocket.net hash Google-WCC-debug. Okay, so let's do that. And what happens is you get this little pop-up down here. So it's attempting to auto replace. When you click on force, watch what happens to this phone number. Okay, it swaps it out. Okay, so it swapped out, it did a number swapping. So it is working. I'm not sure why it's jumping to the next line, but it is working. And now your Google conversion tracking is going to show up for that particular phone, that particular number, that whatever you have on your website, as long as the call lasts at least 60 seconds or whatever you set it to. Okay, so again, the importance of conversion tracking cannot be overstated. It is so important to make sure you are tracking your conversions properly. Form submissions, phone calls, whatever it is that whatever your primary goal is on Google, make sure that you are measuring that properly. These success signals are more important now than ever before, because they get sent over into Google, and Google uses this as food for the algorithm, so that at some point you can use target CPA or target ROAS, maximize conversions, maximize conversion value, and really lean on the algorithm to be able to find buying signals and be able to position ads more intelligently, right, through algorithms, which is really the wave of the next generation of Google ads. At some point keywords will disappear, and it'll just be behaviors and signals and things of that nature. All right, so that is how you set up call tracking, and I think that pretty much covers it, right? So we have form tracking, which we covered in another video, call tracking, which we covered today. We also have videos on how to set up the Google Tag Manager, how to set up Google Analytics, GA4 on your Unbounce page. So if you haven't seen those, check them out. And then finally, if you're still on the fence, or if you're still have not signed up for Unbounce, then here's a great deal for you. You can get 20% off your first 3 months or 35% off your first full year. And all you have to do is go to brandrocket.net/Unbounce to claim this deal. Just click on the link and get signed up. And if you found value in this video, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell every single person you know, including your dog and your cat, and let's get everybody over on this page, because I'm just getting started, right? So need to get more action on this so that I can create more videos. So I really appreciate your time today, and have a good one. Thank you.